Hey, what's up, legends? Welcome back to Tales of the Famous, the channel where the myths get stripped down, the legends get put under the spotlight, and we finally separate internet jokes from cold, hard reality. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because every day we drop a true story, so wild you'll swear it's scripted, except it isn't. Today we're going back to a small martial arts gym in Texas, to the one evening that still gets whispered about in dojos all across the state. The title says it all. Black belt asked Chuck Norris to spar, just for fun. 2 minutes later, he regretted it a lot. This isn't a movie scene. This isn't an urban legend cooked up on Reddit. This is the day a cocky third-degree black belt decided to test a living legend and learned, in the most humbling way possible, that some names aren't famous for no reason. So grab a drink, turn the lights down, and let's step onto the mat together. It's a humid Tuesday night just outside Dallas. Inside Dragon's Den Martial Arts Academy, the advanced class is in full swing. The air is thick with the smell of sweat, canvas mats, and pure, raw ambition. At the center of the room stands Brad Morrison, 32 years old, 6 feet 2 inches, 215 pounds of muscle wrapped in a crisp black GI and a third-degree black belt. Around the gym, they call him the closer because once he gets his hands on you in sparring, the fight is over. Trophies, medals, tournament banners. Half the wall decor has his name on it. Younger students idolize him. Visiting black belts respect him. And Brad? He makes damn sure everyone knows who the alpha is. Tonight, he's in destroyer mode. He just launched a training partner across the mat with a textbook Osotogari that echoed like a gunshot. In a real street fight, you'd be finished in 10 seconds, he announces to the frozen room, flexing while the poor guy on the floor tries to remember what planet he's on. That's when the front door opens, slowly, quietly. A silver-haired man in faded jeans and a plain black t-shirt walks in. No entourage, no camera crew, just the calm, measured steps of someone who has absolutely nothing left to prove. He hugs the owner, Master Kim, like a brother he hasn't seen in years. Good to see you, Chuck, Master Kim says, grinning ear to ear. Chuck Norris. To everyone else in the room under 40, the name means slow-motion roundhouse kicks, Walker Texas Ranger reruns, and 1,000 memes about him being able to do the impossible. To Brad Morrison, it means washed-up Hollywood actor. Fake fights. Choreography. Easy target. Because Brad has never heard the real resume. He doesn't know that the man standing in front of him started training in 1958 on an Air Force base in South Korea and turned himself from a shy, skinny kid into a 6-time undefeated world professional middleweight karate champion. He doesn't know Chuck held that title from 1968 to 1974, retiring on top, never beaten. He doesn't know Chuck is the first Westerner in the 4,500-year history of Taekwondo to be awarded 8th-degree black belt Grand Master. He doesn't know about the black belts in Tang Soo Do, American Kenpo, Shida Ryu, Judo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under the Machados, or that Chuck personally created his own system, Chun Kuk Do, and has certified over 2,300 black belts worldwide. All Brad sees is an 80-something-year-old celebrity who wandered into his kingdom. And kings don't like visitors. Brad struts over, arms folded, smirk locked and loaded. No offense, Mr. Norris, he says, loud enough for the cheap seats. But movie fighting isn't real martial arts. A dozen students stop mid-kick. Phones creep out of GI pockets. Master Kim's face tightens. He knows exactly where this is going. Chuck just smiles the calm, polite smile of a man who has heard every version of this conversation for 50 years. I'm really just here to catch up with an old friend, he says. But Brad smells blood. The room is watching. This is his shot to become immortal in gym lore. Come on, he pushes. Let's do a quick demo. Light spar, just for fun. Show the kids the difference between real technique and Hollywood smoke and mirrors. Master Kim tries to shut it down. Chuck looks at the circle of young, eager faces staring at him. Some excited, some nervous, and finally nods. All right, he says, voice still friendly, just for fun. The students scramble into a tight circle. Phones are fully out now. Someone hits record. Brad bounces on his toes. Perfect fighting stance. Guard high. Eyes burning with confidence. Chuck steps onto the mat relaxed, hands hanging loose at his sides, looking like he's waiting for an Uber. Brad explodes. First attack, his moneymaker, a lightning-fast roundhouse kick to the body, the same one that's cracked ribs in tournaments. Chuck moves exactly 1 inch. The kick slices empty air. Before Brad's leg even comes down, Chuck is suddenly standing beside him. "You telegraphed with your shoulder," Chuck says quietly, almost conversationally. "Gave me half a second warning." Brad stumbles, face flashing red. Lucky guess. He chains a jab-cross roundhouse combo, the exact sequence that earned him his black belt. 3 perfect strikes in under a second. Chuck avoids all 3 without ever looking like he moved more than a couple of inches. Each punch and kick misses by the width of a credit card. The gym is dead silent now. Brad has never, ever looked clumsy before. He lunges with a straight blast at point-blank range, impossible to dodge. Chuck simply isn't there when the punch arrives. Master Kim starts to call it off. Brad snaps. "I'm not losing to some actor." The temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. Chuck's smile fades. For the first time all night, his eyes go cold. "You're right," he says softly. "I haven't been taking this seriously. Let me fix that." 15 seconds later, 15, Brad is flat on his back, staring up at the fluorescent lights, lungs empty, no clue how he got there. No cinematic spin kick. No flying armbar. Just pure, effortless, invisible precision. Dead silence. Chuck reaches down, offers a hand, and pulls the stunned black belt to his feet. "Technique's called stop hitting yourself," he says with the tiniest grin. Very advanced. Nervous laughter finally explodes across the gym. Chuck turns to the circle of wide-eyed students. "What you just saw wasn't movie magic. It was 40-plus years of training with the best in the world, competing when losing meant going home broken, and learning that real skill doesn't need to be loud or flashy. It just needs to work. Every single time." Then he looks straight at Brad. "You're clearly talented," he says. "But talent without humility is just organized violence. The real black belt is up here." He taps his own temple. "And in here, he taps his heart." Brad, ego in pieces, voice barely a whisper. "Mr. Norris, I owe you the biggest apology of my life." Chuck just shakes his head. "No apology needed, son. Just pay it forward. Teach these kids that martial arts isn't about proving you're better than someone else. It's about becoming better than the person you were yesterday." Brad bows, deep, slow, and 100% sincere. The gym erupts in applause that probably shook the windows. That night became instant legend in Texas martial arts circles. Students who were there still tell the story years later. Brad? He changed. The ego got dialed way down, the teaching went way up, and he never again judged a book or a legend by its cover. And Chuck Norris walked out as quietly as he walked in, got in his truck, and drove back to his ranch, leaving behind one of the greatest unsung lessons in modern martial arts history. So here's the takeaway. Legends. Some people aren't famous because the internet made them memes. Some people became memes because they were already legends long before the internet existed. Real mastery doesn't shout. It doesn't need a flex. It just waits quietly until someone asks for a demonstration. Have you ever challenged someone thinking you had the upper hand, only to get completely humbled? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. Best ones might end up in a future community post. If this story fired you up, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell, because next week we're back with another tale that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about fame. Until then, train hard, stay humble, and never, ever ask Chuck Norris to spar just for fun. This is Tales of the Famous. See you on the next one.